Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
WWE is overseas on a big European tour. Millennium Wrestling Federation is getting ready for its Boston homecoming. Stand by.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Club Cam has some of the hottest talent ever assembled in the MWF when it returns Saturday night, December 28th. But Club Cam's a man of his word. And I made a word to John Cena Sr. that I would continue whatever uprising faction he has in the Millennium Wrestling Federation. So, without further ado, to his credit, former two-time MWF heavyweight champion and two-breasted Slick Wagner Brown. Slick, I keep my word to Johnny, and I'd like to welcome you into Club Cam on the guest list. So, welcome aboard.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome to a brand new MWF Altar. It's Monday night. I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
That's the one line he never forgets. He's good with his name. Tony, thank God you're back after 2 Mondays with that low-life sleaze bag, the man with the worst piece in professional wrestling, John Cena Sr. I was ready to pull my hair out, so I needed a wig.
Why do you dislike him?
I detest him. He's a scumbag.
No, you're not. He's a nice man.
Well, he was borrowing your line. Let's be kumbaya. Let's do what's best for business, and let's get along. Let's bring the fans this great wrestling again. I continue to not understand how we're supposed to trust him.
Well, everybody deserves a second chance. Vince McMahon gave me 3 of them.
Well, he's received many, many second chances.
Well, got to keep going. It's going to turn out good at the end.
Well, our good friend Oscar from Men on a Mission and I have been in contact, the vice president of the organization, along with the man I know you have a lot of respect for, Dr. David Reese,
yes,
a man you know in and out of professional wrestling. We're working on putting together just an all-star night of wrestling, December the 28th, Project X, Memorial Hall, a couple of blocks down Main Street. Yourself will be joined by Mark Henry, Vickie Guerrero, TJP, Jerry Brisco. The list goes on and on. Earlier tonight, as we were getting ready to go on the show, we heard from Club Cam Zagami again, another sleaze bag, so to speak. As you probably remember, he was one of the stars of John Cena's reality show on the Fox network, American Grit.
That's right.
He made quite a name for himself on that program, along with John. And what's funny is, before he ever took part in American Grit with John Cena Jr., John Cena Sr. brought him into the Millennium Wrestling Federation as his lackey, as his Virgil almost. Well, fast forward a few years, John Cena Sr. was suspended by David Reese for some of his activities, and John Cena Sr. turned over the keys to the car to Zagami. Now that Zagami has got that money from Fox, he's investing it very wisely, Tony. No matter what you think of some of these people, they're wise business moves. He invested quite a bit of money to bring in Vickie Guerrero as a senior advisor. Vickie was the general manager of SmackDown for many years. He's invested big money in the big man, 6'3", 440-pound executioner Brian Malonis. We learned moments ago as the show opened, he signed, as part of his uprising faction, the only 2-time champion in MWF history, Slick Wagner Brown, an athlete I know you have a lot of respect for. Zagami is making waves here in the MWF, and at the same time, he's kind of sticking it to Cena Sr., which I have to say, I might not like Cam, but I enjoy the fact that Cam is kind of sticking it to Johnny.
Whoa,
a lot of news to digest.
That's heavy. Yes, it is. That's heavy. You know, I always try to stay clear of folks like that. You know.
Which ones? Cam?
Well, anybody that is revengeful or anybody that is unreliable or untrustworthy.
Yeah.
It sounds like both of them deserve each other.
You think Johnny and Cam deserve each other?
Yeah, if one is revengeful and the other one is untrustworthy, they're 2 peas in a pot. But
you know what I think of Johnny. but it pales in comparison to how much Johnny hates Cam Zagami. Now, when Cam joined us in studio, his point of view was a little different. He made it sound like Johnny was out to pasture, maybe even a ghost at this point. He didn't really slit the throat, so to speak. When John Cena Sr. was here in studio while you were absent, he left his thoughts perfectly clear. He doesn't want anything to do with Zagami. He doesn't even want the man in the MWF. But David Reese is looking to energize the MWF in its return to the Boston area. And he wants John Cena Sr. involved. He wants Cam Zagami involved. He's even inviting that bottom-of-the-barrel lowlife Dylan Cage, the stalker, back into the MWF from down in the Carolinas. But there's so much friction between Cena and Zagami, I think we're going to see an explosion at some point, Johnny. It's almost like one of those reality TV shows. They're not allowed to use their phones. They're not allowed to watch TV. They just sit around the house drinking all day, and confrontation is inevitable.
Wow, that's heavy. Well, I'm the type of guy always hoping everything work out for the best.
Well, we
I
know.
always try to keep a positive attitude on things, and I'm hoping they work out the best. Cause, like I said, I have no problem with none of them people, and the reason I'm the way I am, when I was first starting the business, I used to ride with a guy called Don Sirota, and he used to wear these big, thick soles on his shoes because he wasn't very tall. He was a little short Puerto Rican guy, great wrestler, but the guys were making fun of it wearing the high shoes. So George Scott came up to me, my mentor. He said, "Tony, I thought you and Don got along pretty good." I said, "We did." And he said, "Then why are you teasing him?" I said, "Because the other guys is doing it." He said, "Well, he may not be able to get along with this guy or this guy or this guy, but as long as he get along with you, you have to get along with him because there gonna be people that I like that you don't like, and gonna be people you like that I don't get like, but that got nothing to do with each other." He said, "As long as Don is okay with you," he said, "don't join the other guys in knocking him." So ever since that, I learned that lesson in 1975. Because until I have a problem with someone personally, then they're all right with me. They may not be all right with others, but they're all right with me until I have a problem with them.
You've had pretty good relations with Johnny and his piece.
I hadn't had no problem with him, so I
What about the piece?
The who?
The piece.
The peas?
Piece.
Peace.
The hair piece.
I didn't know he had one.
Yes.
Well, I'm one for talking about somebody's hair.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe you could use one too.
That's what I said. I may get one of them hair pieces. I need a hair piece, a facelift, a butt tuck. I need a lot of stuff. I need some Viagra.
Well, we're not going to go there, Tony. Please. This is a PG family-rated show. But as we open the show tonight, we saw yet another video from Club Cam Zagami announcing the return of Slick Wagner Brown. But there was some jabs in there. He said that Slick Wagner Brown had breasts. Now, Slick Wagner Brown, is he past his peak at this point? You could make that argument potentially. The last time we saw him in action,
I gave him his first match.
We'll get there. He lost to a very slow-moving Devon Dudley the last time we saw Slick, but Slick competed in the very first match in MWF history back in 2001. He's the only man to hold that championship gold not once but twice, winning a six-pack challenge and later defeating Shelton Benjamin for his second win down in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Slick Wagner Brown is one of the great athletes that's ever competed in this organization.
Exactly.
You know him well, as you mentioned. You gave him his very first match up in the great state of Maine.
That's right. He didn't weigh more than 160, 170 pounds.
Yeah.
It was him and he used to come out to school to Killer Kowalski there.
He did, yeah. And went on to actually train for Killer Kowalski before Kowalski had to close the school down.
Yeah, him and J.C. Rumba.
So I think it's safe to say right now, Wagner Brown is one of the more respected veterans around the Northeast wrestling scene.
Yeah, that's it. And he had his best matches with Too Cold Scorpio. He probably one of the very few guys I see that could go toe-to-toe with Too Cold Scorpio. Amazing, amazing athlete.
Why do you think Cam Zagami, as a man that's going to be his manager or representative, however you want to classify it, why would he attack Slick for being a little full in the chest at this point? I don't get it.
Well, my mom said people are like roaches.
Yeah.
You take a jar, you cut a little hole, put a top on it, cut a little hole in it, drop a string down in there. One roach would climb up, another one would grab his leg, another one would grab the other leg. And finally, there's so many roaches hanging on to the top they all fall to the bottom and they're all happy again. Some people could pull themselves up by their own bootstrap, by their own merits, and then the other people pull themselves up by putting other people down. And I guess he's one of those that could never reach the level of Slick Regular Brown. So his only way of equaling out himself to Slick is to bring Slick down to his level, because he could never pull himself up to Slick level.
Do you think maybe that's why he's on this ego trip right now, where he's got all the money from Fox appearing on the American Grit reality show? Now he feels like he's a player in the business because he's got the money to spend.
Right,
You think
right.
that's it?
Well, it could be. You know, I don't know much about what you're talking about with the Fox thing, but sometimes it's a person's nature.
Yeah.
You know, whether he had the money or not, it's his nature. He probably been putting people down to build himself up his whole life. It's his nature. He gonna do it whether he have money or he don't have money. It's a person's nature. They go by. You know, from all the people that God will put on this earth, there had not been one person born yet with the same DNA or the same fingerprint. So everybody got their own different personality, but you have a basic of personality. When you look at the basics, there's only 7 of them. So in the reality, there's only 7 people in the whole world. You know, I can see a Dan Morella 100 times a day under a different name, different ethnic background, different city, everything. But on the inside, the personality is Dan Morella. Same thing with Tony Atlas, same thing with Hulk Hogan. We all got a certain personality that a whole group of people fit. Like when I see Vince McMahon, and I'm not knocking him because I voted for him. When I see President Trump, I don't see President Trump. I see Vince. I don't know why, but every time he talks, it just reminds me so much of Vince. Even the way he conduct business, where he won't fire you to your face, he do it behind your back. Vince was known to do that. Vince would tell you, oh, you're great, you got a great job here, everything is good with you, kid. You get home, he would send you a letter. In the older days, they say a letter. Now, like the last time I got hired, Vince called me. When I got fired, John Laurinaitis called me. The first time I got hired with Sabah Simba, Vince called me. When I got fired, Pat Patterson called me. And he'd been like that since the beginning. He could not tell you to your face what he really, really thinks. You his friend while you stand and talk to him. Me and Ted Long used to laugh right after every WrestleMania. Everybody that's going to get fired is going to get fired. It's already in the book. Nothing going to change it. And Ted Long used to say all the time, say, I wonder how many people walking around this dressing room right now that no longer have a job here and don't know it. In the older days, promoter said, Dan, I need to talk to you. Pull you into the office. He said, well, it was wonderful having you here. You're a great asset to the business. But right now, we are making changes, and we're going to release you in X number of days. If you need any help to find a new place to go, we will help you, but we will have to let you go. Man to man, mono on mono. Now you get, oh, you're doing a wonderful job here. You're just as much a part of this than anybody. And you go home and you find out that you ain't working no. Kind of like when they Comey, that FBI guy, got on the airplane, he thought he had a job. He was fired before the plane landed. But I kind of miss the old-fashioned face-to-face. I even miss talking to people on the phone. I mean, to get what normally in the older days would take you 2 minutes to do verbally, now it takes about an hour to do with the texting. So people think texting is faster. No, because they got text back, and they text back this, and they text back that, and text back that. By the time you finish texting, 30 minutes gone. But if a person talk to you, you can say, hey, what time you want to be there? 6 o'clock. I'll wait a bill. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, see you later. Okay, see you later. Boom, gone.
Well,
the same thing with credit cards in the grocery store. Didn't they say credit cards going to be cheaper?
Yep.
But the guy that got the cash, you throw the cash up, they get a change. You're out there with the credit card, push this, push that, push this, push that. And it take longer with the credit card.
You like the cash.
It's quicker.
It's quicker, all right.
You know,
well,
more simple and easier for everybody all the way around.
We have a very interesting dynamic shaping up between Cena Sr. and Zagami. It's going to be interesting to see it unfold December the 28th. It looks like Zagami has no use for Cena anymore. He's got Vickie Guerrero now in his back pocket, along with some elite wrestling talent. But it sounded like he was kind of jobbing slick out, and it'll be interesting to see.
And you say Vickie is what now?
Vickie Guerrero.
I mean, what her
She's
job
in his
was
back pocket. She's going to be one of his advisors.
On what?
His faction, the Uprising faction.
But all I can speak on is my 20-some-odd years on the independent circuit, and I have learned that your experience means diddly. People come into the room with an idea that they want to do. They don't know if it's going to work or not. It's never been put to the test. They just want to do it. And the guy that got the idea is the guy that got the least to say. The guy that don't know nothing, don't know his butthole from a hole in the ground, is the guy that got the most to say. And unfortunately, we've been, our country been run like this for quite a spell now. I ain't gonna say how many years, but most people out here, the reason they're so angry because we keep putting people in positions that do not have any experience at that job. Looking for something new. You're not gonna find nothing new. It's too hard to change old into new. No matter if it's wrestling, politics, food, whatever, you gotta have some experience.
Well,
people behind you.
Zagami seems to feel like the best way he can spend that money is on Guerrero. We're going to have to wait and see, Tony. I have a feeling that conflict is coming December the 28th at Memorial Hall, and the fallout could be dangerous for someone.
Who would you have hired if I was him?
Who would you have hired?
Bill Eadie.
Bill Eadie, all right.
Bill Eadie, one of the brightest, most intelligent wrestler, and all the boys know that. Bill Eadie is incredible.
He is.
But the only reason he's not with the WWE because he owned the name Axe Demolition.
That's right. He had
that cut him
legal
out.
issue.
Otherwise, he'd be with Vince, with Steamboat and all these other guys. He's no more than Steamboat, all the guys. We always know that since the 70s he'd been like that. He always been like that.
All right. Well, again, it's shaping up to be a heck of a night, December the 28th. We're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be back with more on MWF Ultra. Stand by.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
We're friends, Andre, please. Maybe you'll believe this, Hogan.
You will never, ever see it again.
Austin face to face with McMahon.
Nobody tells Stone Cold Steve Austin what to do or when to do it.
And that's the bottom line.
Neither of these superstars is leaving this match without a few scars.
The story will end with me becoming the Universal Champion.
I don't think I've ever seen two more evenly matched competitors in my life.
WWE's greatest rivalries, available online or wherever books are sold.
The Moonlight Sun, Mike Skyros, I've been all around the world. New England, New York, Canada, you name it. But on December 28th, the Moonlight Sun is coming to your little town of Melrose. But don't fear, because I'm going to light the way for all of you. Just sit back and let it happen.
All right, Tony, welcome back. You're enjoying a fine meal over there. We need you to be well fed. You're still a growing boy.
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about a big man, Tony, maybe bigger than you and I. Saturday night, December the 28th, down the road at Memorial Hall in Melrose as part of Project X. Talking about the world's strongest man. A man we had a chance to sit down and speak with
Tony
recently.
Atlas.
No, not even you. We had
Stronger than Tony.
We had a chance to speak with him at Christopher Nowinski's Concussion Legacy Awards dinner. Myself and Tony's fellow WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry. Check it out. Wrestling fans, they let me on assignment awards dinner. Who did we bump into? A man that is known for not only a giant in the squared circle, but having a giant heart. The world's most strongest man, former Olympian, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry. Mark, a pleasure to have you with us almost by surprise.
But we're the world's most strongest. I don't understand that, man. Like, if you're the strongest man or you're not.
What did I say?
The world's most strongest man. And you're not the only one. Like, it's something that, I guess in pro wrestling, somebody said it, and that's what it is. but I am the strongest man that ever lived. And that's, you know, I mean, that's my claim to fame.
You have humbled Tony Atlas.
There's no way you can humble Tony Atlas.
As much as can be.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see it. I haven't seen Tony in probably about 6-8 months. And me and Tony, we have a good time. We always gonna eat good. But I always, at some point, Tony, chill, let's relax. Tony likes to keep the party going.
We have Tony with us every Tuesday morning, and then every WWE pay-per-view weekend we release a bigger episode. Now we try and create a topic for each show, but as you know, we probably go off course very, very easily. Very easily.
It is very easy to get off task if you're talking to Tony, because eventually he's gonna go, well, back in 1982, me and Gorilla Monsoon was talking, and we decided we were gonna go get a workout. And then after we got a workout, and you know, sometimes I just gotta, like, you know, go and get my favorite foods, and it just turns into something, anything. And if you got Tony, expect it.
In ECW and then SmackDown, you probably spent more Tuesdays with Tony than I have over the past few years. Do you have maybe a favorite memory with Tony traveling on the road with him, not only at the arena, but you got the car rides too?
Tony and I had a flat tire, and I was getting out to change the tire. No, Mark, I got it. I know how to change the flat. I can do it. And so Tony gets out, and he starts jacking the car up. He was driving, so I just, you know, I got out and I'm standing there, and I see the car like swaying like this, and I said, Tony, did you put the car in park? And he was like, I don't know. And I go, and the car is in neutral. So he's jacking the car up, and it could have slid off and cut his hands off, but it didn't happen. We got it all fixed, and you know, that was that. But I got to double check Tony every time.
He told a story on the air about on a European tour, the bus got stuck, and you alone were actually able to push the bus into the road. Do you remember this story?
I do, and you know, he was exactly right. There were two other guys. All me, but I just wanted everybody to get off the bus to make the bus lighter, and they were pushing up a ramp. So it wouldn't. Once you got over the front tires over the lip, it was, you know, smooth sailing. But you know, the guys that were pushing couldn't do it, and plus there was like 30 people on the bus. Right. Like, get off the bus. And then so I started pushing, and it went over the lip, and you know, there you go.
He said you basically just kind of stood back for a few minutes, watched what they were trying to do, and then said, move out of the way, let the man get it done.
The guys in the back, they were pushing from the edge. And pushing stuff or leverage. Rather than pushing from the sides on the edge, you got to push directly in the middle. And you got to lift it up so it takes some of the pressure off, then you can push. I probably took about 600 pounds of pressure off and started pushing, and it started rolling. So it was a little bit of science as well as strength.
Well, you're the man that knows that from A to Z. Let me ask you this, Mark. I mean, the fans are buzzing. It's part of our 8th annual Paul Bear Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, MWF Project X, kind of a homecoming at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Christmas weekend, Saturday night, December the 28th. You, the marquee headliner, along with some other professional wrestling greats. We have a Brisco coming in from WWE, not only a fellow Hall of Fame, talent scout. He's going to be conducting a seminar for some of the great young aspiring independent talents. Your former partner in crime, Tony Atlas, will be there, of course. Former WWE Cruiserweight Champion TJP. Club Cam of the Uprising is bringing in Vickie Guerrero, which will add a little spice to the event, I'm sure. It's going to be a great night.
Excuse me?
You didn't hear me?
Excuse me?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, Vickie. Okay, yeah, Vickie.
So we're talking about a host of superstars. It's going to be a great night. Live wrestling, autograph photo meet and greet. For the VIPs in attendance, we're going to do an in-ring version of what Tony and I do at the studio, a Q&A, where we'll have a little fun, share some memories, some laughs, and you guys can ask these great superstars some questions. And what I think a lot of the fans love, we do a great charity auction in Raffles. Our dear friend, the woman I know that you know very well, I call her Mrs. Claus, Sweet Sue, another Hall of Famer. She sends us so much great stuff at this event. The fans are going to be blown away. It's an easy website to remember, bostonwrestling.com. You can't go wrong with that.
You can't miss that.
Now, Mark, like I said, we're buzzing about December 28th. The fan reaction has been phenomenal. We also had a chance, I don't know if you saw it on our program, but you were part of this year's Cauliflower Alley Club reunion in Las Vegas. I've been a part of that going back to the mid-90s. It was great to see you as the main event at the CAC. Any memories of your trip out to Vegas?
You know, I have a lot of respect for the history of wrestling. And that organization is one that I have a lot of respect for because not only them helping wrestlers in need, but it gives a chance for us old timers to go and see everybody again. It's like a family reunion. And there's some people that people don't know about that they should know about. And that gives people an opportunity to meet the people of the past, because without our past and without our history, we're nothing. And I just love it. I think that is one of the best things that I do every year.
What era of professional wrestling did you grow up with? What territory? What superstars?
You know what? I grew up in Texas, so I had Dallas and Houston.
You got both.
So and not only that, but we had the pirate TV cable, so we could get Mid-South wrestling. So we got a lot of Louisiana and Mississippi and Florida wrestling. So I was in just the right part of the United States where wrestling radiated out. You 200 miles in any direction, you got a different wrestling company.
At what point did you go from being this world-class athlete, an Olympian representing our country, to saying, you know what, I could really go out into the king of sports, professional wrestling, and do this?
I did. The WWE found me. I mentioned I was a big wrestling fan to who was a friend of Vince, and it was like, that's pretty cool. And Oprah said, Mondays I watch wrestling. Big kid. And they invited me up.
Yeah.
So I never left.
And the rest is history. I believe it was middle of 1996.
Yeah, that's the saying. The rest is history. And that was 95.
95, I apologize. I got to say this, Mark. Again, it's going to be a pleasure to have you with us at MWF Project X on December the 28th. We pay tribute to the big man. I get worked up thinking about it. Any memories of Paul Bearer, Percy Pringle III? I know you probably watched a little of him growing up, and then you had that great match with Undertaker at WrestleMania 22 when Paul Bearer was out of the company. Any thoughts about this great man we host this event in honor of? A great man that meant so much to myself, John Cena Sr., Tony Atlas now.
No, I was the Undertaker didn't like cucumbers.
I've heard this.
And Paul used to torture him unmercifully, putting cucumbers in his shoes, in his bag, on top of his wrestling gear, under his hat, like just all kind of random foolishness. And as much as Owen Hart was a practical joker, Percy was too. And he meant for a lot of laughs.
He sure did. And he'll be I believe he'll be there with us in spirit. And a very interesting venue.
No doubt.
Road Dogg has been with us at the venue several times. He believes it's haunted, so it's a very unique place that used to house pro wrestling and boxing way back in the 1930s. So I don't know if the spirits spook you.
I'm not a fan of scary things. I would rather not know about it.
Well, we'll have to cut this part out of the interview. Before we go, I got to ask you, since we are at this renowned Concussion Legacy dinner, what brings you out to Boston this year?
You know what? Chris Nowinski is a very good man, and he's going to help the future of pro wrestlers with diagnosing concussions and the protocol for people that get dinged in the head and how to make sure that that's fixed. And you know, maybe down the road they'll be able to do stuff to the brain that'll be able to fix it. While they're alive, with medicine or some kind of therapy. So I mean, it's we need people like him.
What I find interesting is right now, 2019, it's quite a unique time in professional wrestling. There's been more access to wrestling with not only WWE, but other promotions. WWE, of course, they ahead of the curve, revolutionizing the genre. I don't think WWE gets enough credit on how they've revolutionized the training down at the Performance Center in Florida with the way the guys and the girls now break into the sport without risking those concussions early on, which is a great thing.
Yeah, they get a lot of work without the banging, without taking all the bumps, and learn how to take the bumps on softer surfaces that won't give you a concussion. And once you learn how to take those bumps, you have a less likely chance that you're going to get a concussion or hurt yourself. And that's something that's a big plus. And for all the bad press that the WWE gets, they don't talk about the good stuff enough. And I hope that people start paying a little bit more respect to the company. Man, I've had a great time talking to you. I got to get back out here and kiss babies and sign autographs and take pictures. But I'm looking forward to being down there with y'all soon.
Don't kiss the babies too hard. You are the world's most strongest man. You don't want to hurt him. All right, fans, again, Saturday night, December the 28th, our homecoming at Memorial Hall, downtown Melrose, Massachusetts. It's MWF Project X. As part of the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlock Toy Drive, we've got Vickie Guerrero, TJP, the Hall of Famer Gerald Brisco, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. If you're a female and you wear shoes, that's a plus. Along with this guy, Mark Henry, the Olympian, the Hall of Famer, and a man with a heart the size of Texas. We'll see you December 28th. Thank you, Mark. All right, Tony, you're well fed.
Yes, I am. Yep.
And we had a great interview with your former protege, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Yep. The Mark Henry is an incredible strong man. And the people, he's a real nice person, too. So he's not the type of guy that's going to shun you. He likes the fans. He likes to shake hands. He likes to meet people. It's going to be good.
When he had that salmon suit on and he destroyed John Cena when he feigned retirement, that was pretty memorable. So if you get him on a good day, but I know he's looking forward to meeting the fans, as he said in that great interview, as he takes part in our 8th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, December the 28th, right down the street in Memorial Hall in Melrose. Tony, man, you spent a lot of time on the road with him. He was your protege.
Yes, you know, my main job was, what a lot of people don't know behind the scenes, my job was to train Mark Henry to show him, because he was an Olympic weightlifter. For most people that go to the gym, they know there's a difference between a weightlifter, a powerlifter, and a bodybuilder. The lifts and the training session was totally different. So they wanted me to teach him some bodybuilding stuff. And here lately, when I see Mark Henry, he lost a lot of weight. He done trimmed up, and he's in great shape now.
What a rare opportunity for the fans to meet the two of you together in this day and age. You don't do a lot of personal appearances together anymore, do you?
No. This be the first time that me and Mark Henry have been together. I think we only was together one time since 2000 and 2010.
Wow.
And we hadn't been together since then. So we did a thing in Philly a couple of years back.
I remember that,
Right, where Mark Henry showed up. But other than that, that was the only time that me and Mark going to do anything together for the past 10 years.
As we've been saying, Tony, December 28th, it's feeling like a reunion, baby, not just a homecoming. All these friends in the locker room, even the fans that used to enjoy the great events at Memorial Hall together are going to have a chance to share some holiday cheer with some great athletes, again, headlined by yourself, Mark Henry, Vickie Guerrero, TJP, Jerry Brisco. The list keeps going on and on. Don't forget, fans, again, discount VIP package and tickets available now on the BostonWrestling.com super site. We have a deal where if you are not in the area but would still like to help what we're doing, purchase a ticket. We'll give that ticket to one of our friends from the Special Olympics. I'm proud to say we've been Special Olympic partners going all the way back to 2011. If you're looking for a great holiday gift for yourself to put under the Christmas tree, our eBay page has got some great stuff, some rare autographed items, books, DVDs, and so much more. We implore you, if you want more of Mr. USA, forget about me. If you want more Tony, like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends about the crazy stuff we do here week in, week out. For my good friend, the Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, I'm Dan Marotti. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well. I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Let us tell you how the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation can help raise cash for your nonprofit cause. Experience the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation live in your city, throughout New England, the tri-state area, down through the Carolinas, out to our friends in the Midwest and beyond.
If your nonprofit organization is looking for an interactive turnkey experience while putting the fun into fundraising, you've met the perfect tag team partner to work with every step of the way.
The MWF offers a variety of packages for groups of almost any size, from our live events at the Boston Garden, the Kowloon Entertainment Dining Complex, and the legendary Suffolk Downs, to high school gyms and function halls. We've presented live events everywhere and anywhere.
Since 2001, the MWF's mission has been simple: keep the kids off the streets. Under the leadership of President David Reese, we bring the superstars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow to your town. Not for a wrestling show, but an event that features action-packed in-ring wrestling, autograph, pose photo opportunities, Q&A sessions, and so much more. It's the best of sports and entertainment. The week of your event, we can add on to the endeavor with anti-bullying campaigns, library meet and greet reads, youth sport concussion seminars, and more.
Our live events are fit for fans of any age from 5 to 95. This fall is part of our new Kids Club program. We offer live event experiences exclusively for the youngest of fans. On the flip side, we can produce a tailor-made event for fans of an older demographic as well. We work with you every step of the way to get the word out to fans near and far on our local television offerings and to over 50,000 fans and growing on our social media platforms.
Your success is our success. If your group has had enough of candy bar and wrapping paper sales and has the energy to team with our passionate fan base, bringing the NWF experience to your community is the answer to put smiles on faces while raising cash for your cause.
Contact us today to get the ball rolling for your custom-made event that you'll want to bring back year after year to your community.
Don't just take it from us. Here are the folks we've teamed up with in the past.